So this video is called "This Gets Him Addicted to You Forever." Again, I'm a bit skeptical of this because I don't think there's anything that could addict me to a woman forever. So this will be interesting.
First of all, before I even start, I'm very excited about the content of this video today. It's something brand new, and I feel like this concept, which I've never said before, is something that I will be saying for the next decade, if not my whole life in my coaching. At the end, so how do you communicate your standard to a guy? Let's say a guy...
Well, this is how to communicate your standard to a guy. That should be the title of the video, shouldn't it? Not "This Gets Him Addicted to You Forever."
At the end of a first date, says, "Do you want to come home with me?" However he says it. Guys each have their own special way of saying this. How do you deal with this question in a way that articulates your standard but doesn't create unnecessary friction or make things awkward between you? I've thought about two types of women.
What creates friction and unnecessary stuff between you is not having clarity. So if you say, "Oh, let's go back to mine," and I think that's the best way for guys to ask, not "Do you want to come back with me?" I think that's a bit kind of like you're really putting them on the spot. You invite, instead of suggesting or asking a question, you invite, and they can either say yes or no. And I think when you're in the grey area, that creates a lot of problems, and sometimes it's better to just know where you stand and have a yes or no. That's it. "Oh, not tonight, I'm going to go back tonight, but I'd like to meet you again," or "Yeah, let's go back to yours," or whatever. So it's sort of like just clarity, I think, solves a lot of the problems. And I think a lot of the problems are created because of the grey area, because of the fog.
That get this wrong. One type of woman who gets it wrong is the woman who is overly aggressive. She's the one who, when he says it, she says, "Are you kidding me? You think I would come back to your house after one date?"
If a woman ever spoke to me like that, I'd just walk away. I wouldn't even entertain her anymore. I wouldn't even entertain the idea of seeing her anymore. That would put me off her. That would definitely put me off her.
That's the woman that creates confrontation, bruises his ego.
It's not about bruising my ego. It's just rude. You don't treat people like that. It's not got anything to do with me. It's got nothing to do with my ego. That just shows me what you're like as a person. That's got nothing to do with me. That's all to do with you.
And makes him feel like he doesn't want to take any chances with her again. Then there's...
It's not about taking any chances. It's just about, to me, that's disrespectful. If it's spoken in that way, with that attitude and that kind of demeanour, I'm not going to be around somebody like that. So you've already just disqualified yourself from my attention.
It's the woman who's kind of a little too sweet. She's too passive. Now, she may go one of two directions. She might say to him, she might make excuses and say, "You know what, I have so much work to do in the morning, I have to get up early, so I can't, but hopefully I'll see you later this week." So he never really knows that it was too fast-paced for her.
Well, if you can't pick up from that tone that she's not 100% up for it, then there's something wrong with him.
All he knows is she made an excuse, whether it was...
Well, yeah, she probably did make an excuse. That's fair enough. And it might be a legitimate reason as well. But either way, she's not feeling it.
Legitimate or not, he doesn't know. But he doesn't know what her standard is. The other type of sweet person or passive person goes home with him, even though it's not her pace to go home with someone that quickly. She does it because she doesn't want to create confrontation and she doesn't want to make things awkward, and she likes him, so she thinks, "I do like him and I do want to be close to him." So she goes back to his apartment. Maybe she has sex with him, maybe she doesn't, but she gets taken into a situation that she doesn't really want to be in. So
yeah, that whole kind of like "he made me do it," I don't buy that. I think that everybody's responsible for their own life decisions, and if you want to deny responsibility for your own life decision, I think that's a very bad idea, and that's not the fault of somebody else, because everybody has their agenda. And so you've got to have good boundaries, good healthy boundaries. I spoke about this in another video, about saying yes to some things and no to other things, and it's about maintaining that healthy boundary. If somebody doesn't have a healthy boundary, they're going to be taken advantage of, and that's just life. And so you can't say this whole "he made me do it," "oh, I felt like I couldn't say no," all that kind of stuff. You can't deny responsibility for having your own life and making your own decisions.
Neither of these work very effectively. One communicates standards but doesn't create any excitement for the guy. The aggressive woman, she shows.
It's not the woman's job to create excitement for the guy. It's not the woman's job to do that. So all these videos, there's been a few of these videos where it's like, oh, how to get him this, how to get him that, like you're the cause and he's the effect. It's not like that.
Her standard, but she doesn't necessarily get like excitement. And
why would you want to control a guy like that? Oh well, I said this and now he's falling in love with me. Well, if another girl says that, does he fall in love with her? It's just, why would you want somebody that easily influenced? Surely you want somebody that's with you because of you, not because you said some magic words.
And continue the tension in a good way. She creates bad tension. And the woman who's too sweet, she doesn't create any sense of respect. Now, there's a concept in the food industry. When they're manufacturing food, they're looking for the optimal ratio of salt and sweet that stops you from being satiated, that stops you from being full, that keeps you wanting more, to the point where in food is what makes you overeat, right? Because you eat something and you
yeah, that's between fat and sugar, so that it spikes dopamine and you're addicted to it.
It's got that exact right level, which they have measured, they know. It's got that exact right level, and then you go, I want another one. Just one more. I want another one. I want another one. I want another one. And you keep eating and you don't lose your appetite because it's the optimal level. It's called the bliss point. The bliss point applies perfectly to communication with men. We are always looking for the bliss point in communication. What is the optimal level of salty and sweet when you communicate your standard?
This is so complicated.
Our example before, the woman who was overly aggressive, a little too salty, right? Didn't create any excitement, didn't create any more desire, just created tension in a bad way, not the good tension.
Yes, I agree.
The one who was too sweet didn't show any standards. She wasn't salty enough. So now she...
No, I don't agree with that.
Just at the end of it, he's going to get bored with her because she doesn't have standards, it seems, and he doesn't end up respecting her.
I don't buy that. No, I prefer. I like a sweet girl.
And that means he gets less attracted. There is a woman.
No, if a girl's sweet on you and she's into you and you're into her, that's perfect. Isn't that what everyone's after?
Who in this situation achieves the bliss point. She's the woman who says to the guy, you know what? There's a part of me that would love to, because you're super attractive, but it's not my style to move that quickly.
This sounds like a contract negotiation.
I don't move that fast. But if you want to take me out later this week...
Oh, shut the fuck up. I can't... If a girl spoke to me like this is probably... I actually have more respect for the girl that was being a dickhead. Like, this girl that's like, well, I like you, but I'm not going to sleep with you, but if you do this, then maybe I might do that, and it's a contract negotiation. It's like, I have much more respect for the girl that's a dickhead than the girl that's trying to negotiate desire.
Or next week, I'd love that. Okay, I'm going to repeat that, because I want you to watch one.
I have more respect for the girl that's a dickhead, or the girl that's being super sweet and doesn't know how to articulate herself. I prefer that girl over the dickhead any day of the week, because I'd just walk away from the dickhead. But like, I have much more respect for those two, because they're being more genuine with how they're thinking and feeling than the girl that's negotiating desire. That's just that seems very cold to me.
What happens in each step? There's 3 steps to this. 1, you know what? There's a part of me that would love to go back with you because I think you're really attractive. 2, but that's just not my style. I don't move that quickly. 3, if you want to go out this week or next week, however, I'd love that. That would be really cool. Now, these 3 things, what you've done is you've started by showing attraction. There's a part of me that would love to go back with you because I think you're super attractive. There you're creating all of these, like, this tension in a good way, these fireworks, these sparks, this desire. He's like, oh my God, she wants me. But part 2, I'm telling you my standard. I don't move that fast. That's not my style. I just don't move that quickly. Here's your standard now. And then lastly, you open the door for him to step up his game. So you say, but if you want to do something this week or next, I'd love that. That would be cool. This is the bliss point.
I don't think negotiating genuine desire is a good thing.
This is the woman who has got the optimal level of salty and sweet that makes a guy want more.
No, it kind of... I don't know where I stand with her. Like, with the other two, I know where I stand. Like, oh, she's sweet, but she doesn't know how to articulate it. It's moving a bit fast for her, don't worry about it. Like, you haven't... This is all assuming that men aren't intelligent. Like, surely you know. And then if a girl was coming out and she's giving you all this attitude and making it, judgments about you, then obviously that's not right either. But again, I still respect that much more because at least she's being genuine. You know, she comes back and then gives an apology. It's probably going to be a genuine apology as well. So, this whole kind of like this negotiating desire and, well, I like you, but I'm not coming back with you. But if you do this, then maybe I'll do that. And it's just like... It seems very corporate and cold.
That stops a guy from being satiated, that makes him think, I need another one. In this case, it's another date, right? I need to see her again because she achieved the bliss point. I'm not gonna lie. When I was sitting there and this thing clicked for me, this idea of the bliss point, it might be one of the most exciting.
No, I think the bliss point is moving at a pace that is comfortable for you both. That's the bliss point.
Concepts that I've come across and thought about for attraction and human dynamics in general in a very, very long time. So my question to you is, firstly, did you find that example useful? Because if you did, I have many, many, many more that I have been working on for you. When I come up with almost like a neat little trick, a neat little turn of phrase, something you can actually...
So putting off the desire for love, affection and connection is what gets him addicted to you. But nobody wins.
Say in the moment that can get you the result. Women will use that and see that it works and come back to me and say, well, do you have something that I can say for this situation? And a guy just said this, or a guy just did this. What do I do in all of these different situations? In other words, for every one that I solve, it's like 10 more spring up. I never have time in these YouTube videos to be able to cover them all. It's just, it hasn't been possible.
Yeah, so I think the thing is to reconnect with your instinct and listen to that. And that'll help you in your decision making. And then you won't need experts to tell you what to say or do, because you'll trust your instincts. And if you make a mistake and you allow yourself to be vulnerable with somebody that, if you allow yourself to be vulnerable with somebody that didn't deserve your love, then you learn. It's only in the not learning from your experiences that you don't move on. But trust your instincts.
It's like the cutting the head off the beast and 3 more grow. So I have been working on a brand new program that is very different from the other things that I've done, and it's different in this.
Again, I can't really comment much on this because I can't think of it from a female's perspective, because I'm not female and I've never been out with guys, so I don't know what it's like to date a guy. So I can't really say much more than what I've already said with this one. I'm kind of limited. I wouldn't presume to think that I know what women think and feel, and that all women think and feel the same thing, and that what guys are like, and that they're all the same, and that there's this one thing that will just reunite, and that there's just this one magical thing that will just bring everyone together, no matter who they are or what background they're from or anything. It just seems a bit unreal to me.